Hi, everybody. I'm back. Um, I once again am showing up and having the audacity to be seen. So I'm showing up on camera again. Um, so this might be your first time seeing me, or I've only made one other video, so this might be your first time seeing me in general. I want to start off by introducing myself before I start yapping. But hi, my name is Simone, and I welcome to my channel. I have created this space to kind of like connect with everybody. I want to connect with others and build a community around like spirituality, astrology, human design, and tarot. And just like quantum physics, like anything and everything under spirituality talk. I love talking about it. I could talk about it for days. So that's kind of my space. And today I'm here to talk about specifically I woke up and I felt like I had like a calling and a urge to come on and talk about my Saturn return and just Saturn return in general because I know so many, well, all of us for the most part will go through it a few times in our lives, especially if we're so lucky to get to the older ages of our third Saturn return. But right now, I have gone through my Saturn return, the one that occurs from around the ages of 28 to 30. So mine was about 2.5 years long. Some people's is shorter. I feel like mine was longer, being that it was in Pisces. But from my Saturn return, I just want to say that I learned so many lessons. Like, I have been extremely humbled beyond I just been humbled is all I have to say. I've been so humbled. I've learned so many lessons, and within those lessons, I have gained like so much insight about who I am, but not just like who I am on the surface level, like who I am on a soul level. Like I don't even really recognize who I used to be. Like, I know who I used to be, and I am proud of her for getting me up to this point in life. But looking back just a few months ago, I don't relate to that person anymore, if that makes sense. Like, my values, my identity has changed. So much has changed in general because my Saturn return, specifically being in Pisces, it hit my second house. And if you know anything about the second house, that is about self identity, material, finances. The things that kind of bring security. So I went through the ringer. I went through the ringer in that aspect of my Saturn return. But within that, it taught me how to have like a self identity without material material gains, without wealth, without um, just defining myself like without the securities that I kind of relied on so much in life to define myself. So mainly I'll get a little vulnerable here. I mentioned in my first video I was a biology major. I um, specialized in physiology. So that's what I graduated with a degree in. But long story, I'll have to say it for another time. I actually ended up doing accounting. And my job, I mean, accounting, it could be hard in its own self or, its own ways, but I was working from home. So I was extremely comfortable. I was working from home. I was very so much in my comfort zone as far as like I'm a homebody to the T. Um, I'm more introvert. I would say I could be extroverted, so maybe ambivert, but I'm lean way more towards um, introverted. So my Saturn return being in my second house kind of shook my world up in the sense of being so comfortable in that job, the universe knew I was not going to leave. And to teach me the lessons about um, being vulnerable in the sense of self identity and material and finances, I ended up losing my job. I got laid off, basically. And within that layoff, I had to redefine and find out who am I outside of the titles. The title of, oh, I am this in this society, and I make this much money, and I can do this with my money to gain material wealth, or I will say material wealth, but material things in general. So I had to really learn, like, who am I without those things? And within that, I see it as a blessing because now that I am choosing to be in more alignment with myself, and that mirror has been held up to me to see, to show me, like, who are you, and what is your structure, what is your discipline in life, and the parts of me that I didn't want to face and kind of evaluate on. I now, having gone through that process, I am able to kind of like really know how I'm going to hold myself to like a higher standard that is in alignment with where I need and want to be. Instead of just going through the motions of life and just doing what I had to do to, I don't know, make money. Money is nice, but making money without being fulfilled is, I don't, it never resonated with my soul. It just never did. And I think within losing my job, I was able to explore so many aspects of my life and come to terms with, like, oh, I am a very spiritual person. And it's like, I did have to acknowledge all the gifts that I had to kind of like mute or not acknowledge within myself, because I was like, okay, like, I can't be in like corporate world knowing that I have like the extra senses I have, they never go away, but I had to kind of like mask, like dim them and not acknowledge them, if that makes sense, because I knew, like, okay, if I go down this deep spiritual path, or like get in more into like who I am in that aspect, how can I show up every day and do this like corporate life? And um so overall, it just really showed me a lot about myself, and um, what I really do want to talk about today in regards to Saturn return. So those of you who maybe have gone through it, are going through it now and then coming to the completion, or um, are about to go through it, I want to encourage everybody to look at not only your south node but your north node. And I feel like my Saturn return, just adjust here, my Saturn return really helped me kind of explore those aspects, as far as within losing those identities that I had kind of set up for myself that were not in alignment with me. When those fell away, I had to figure out, okay, well, what is going to align me, and like, what am I here to do? Like, what is my destiny? What is going to fulfill me? Because in my bookkeeping or my accounting job, I I didn't feel like connected to everyone that I worked with. I didn't even really feel connected with the work. I didn't feel like a sense of community. And I found that, I'm just going to look because I have some notes here, make sure I'm accurate. My my north node is in my 11th house. So within that, having my north node in my 11th house, I was forced to face what I'm not comfortable with. So your north node is like, okay, it kind of forces you to have the courage to face things that are unfamiliar with you, things you're not comfortable with, things that you don't really lead with, I should say, in life. Like, you can, but you don't typically do it. And then your south node, that is all about comfortability. So things that you naturally do, things you're gonna be comfortable with. And I won't say south node is not necessarily bad, like the qualities that come with it. It's more of what's gonna keep you kind of stuck in the loop, like what's gonna keep you from or preventing you from like growing, what's preventing you from learning kind of like other ways of doing things besides what you're comfortable with. So my south node being in my fifth house, that kind of forced me to evaluate. I'm very comfortable with doing things by myself. And when I do things, when I have all these natural abilities, and I'm not talking like extra sense, like just in general skills, life skills. I have all these like abilities and I catch on to things pretty quick. But I was using those in a comfortable way to create things, but for self. It was all ego. It was like, well, I can do this for myself and I can do that. And like, I wasn't big into collaboration because, as I said before, I'm pretty much introvert and I will hermit pretty hard if let be. So in conjunction with my south node, it brought me to kind of reevaluate and be like, okay, what I want, I know I can get, and I know I can achieve it, and I know I can build whatever it is at the time that I'm trying to do. But I need to start doing what I'm not comfortable with to bring me in alignment with um, my destiny and like what's going to fulfill me more, and that which is working with others, which brought me all together to start getting in front of the camera, creating community, and then creating Substack. My Substack, Serenity Ensues. Join if you so wish to do so. I'll kind of put the name somewhere around here if you do wish to kind of check it out. I don't have much on there yet, but it's growing. It's growing. It's a work in progress. But I wanted to create community so I can engage with others, learn from others, grow from others, get out of my comfort zone of just doing everything by myself for myself. So I do really, really urge everyone to kind of take a look at your south node and your north node, and specifically see what houses they're placed in, because that will give you so much insight to what you're here to do. My north node, I would say the information I have researched and gotten from it has been life changing. Because I know moving forward, like I'm gonna do things I don't typically do, and that's going to expand me in so many ways beyond probably what I even know. So I'm really excited about that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was with Saturn return, or with my Saturn return ending on the 13th, this Friday of February. I kind of I, I want to I feel like it's like a little bit funny that it's ending on the 13th, because the 13th, although it's viewed as a bad number, like unlucky number, I think it's very interesting because 13 is also the number for femininity. And for femininity, so I typically kind of lead my life in a more like in the more like masculine characteristics. And I'm not saying like I'm a masculine person. I just say like I take charge and I will take the lead on what needs to get done. And I'm working on, balancing masculine and feminine, and like, just being more open and being more receptive and allowing others in more easier. So I think it's funny for me personally and collectively, we are um, exiting the year of the snake. So we're kind of still a little bit in the year of the snake, but we have gone through like shedding the old, getting rid of the old, and now we're stepping into the year of the fire horse. And with the fire horse, it is also feminine. And when I say feminine, I'm not talking about like, man, woman, feminine, like masculine, feminine. I'm meaning more of like collectively. I think we're just getting out of the old way of doing things of like um, conquer everything and dominate everything and do that, like just very like charge, like rah rah rah. And we're going more into like, okay, soft, thinking of others, kind of leading more with our emotions versus like mental. So I just think it's all funny how it all, when you really like evaluate everything, how it really just like all ties together. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my message for today. I just wanted to come on here and get out what I wanted to say while I still had the courage to. So I have done that. And I really hope if anyone relates to my message, wants to share their story about their Saturn return, or has, just wants to share anything, even just to say hello, please feel free to comment. I really want to engage with everybody. Like that is why I am here on camera, is to engage with others, to create a community with others, to talk to others. Of course, only nice comments. Like if you're rude, I'm not responding. I'm sorry. But actually, I'm not sorry. If you're rude, I'm just not going to respond. So, but I know most of you that will do comment. I will definitely go ahead and engage with you guys. And like, I really do want to. So, yeah. So, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to hear more. I will have so much, so many other topics I want to talk about. I'm really just like talking about things as they pop up in my head. Like today I woke up and it's like talk about Saturn return. So I just did it. As soon as I gathered my thoughts and like semi put myself together. So yeah, thank you guys for watching if you have made it this far. And I really appreciate you all. And I hope you enjoy your day or night. And I'll see you soon.